Hello, beautiful Capricorn. Welcome to my channel. I am Elena Valdez. I will be doing your timeless love reading. So whenever you stumble upon this reading, that's when it's meant for you. And you can keep coming back to it as often as you'd like. So Capricorn, we are going to start with how someone else potentially is viewing you. This can be a person. It may also be a few people, depending on who you are, right? Now, this is a general reading, so please just take what resonates and leave the rest. All right, so let's get started with how they are viewing you, the person on your mind, or people on your mind, potentially. All right, Capricorn, let's get started. So we are going to start with how they view Capricorn. How are they viewing Capricorn during the time that they come to this timeless reading? Let's see. We're going to pull 3 cards for you. Okay, card number 1. Woo! I love it when that happens, when they just fly out. Okay, how they are viewing you already. Interesting information, lovely Capricorn. One more card, please, dear Spirit. Oh, a couple of things. Beautiful, lovely Capricorn. So already out of the gate, we have the 4 of Wands, the Page of Cups, and the Tower. So a couple of things happening here. And I'm going to read from various perspectives because it looks like you may have either, well, I'm just going to read the perspectives that I see here. So for some of you Capricorns are already in an established relationship, whether you are married or in a committed situation, and there is someone else here who is interested in maybe interrupting that. The Tower follows the Page of Cups. So we have the 4 of Wands, we have the Page of Cups, and we have the Tower. And there's a feeling here that there is someone, potentially someone younger than you, beautiful Capricorn, a water sign, that is intending to interrupt something you already have established. And maybe what you already have established is not so concrete, and this is the reason why they think it's something that they can potentially interrupt. But the Tower following the Page of Cups, there is a sense that maybe someone else is observing something in your current relationship already falling apart. Maybe you're in separation. Maybe you are, in some kind of divorce situation happening and this individual knows. But nevertheless, for one group of Capricorns, this is someone who is younger, potentially a water sign interested in you, Capricorn, who is also aware that you have some loose ends that still need to be tightened up here. Yet they're sort of like, here I am type of thing. For the other group of you, there's another group of you here that there is someone who is interested in you. However, they are having a difficult time seeing how you can step up to the plate in terms of offering something that's a bit committed, a bit more long-term. There's a sense here for the second group of Capricorns here that someone is viewing you in the way of, I'm not sure how this person is going to be able to give me what I need in a committed, steady way. There's a little bit of mistrust here from someone. I think there is someone here who's interested in you, Capricorn, who maybe sees you a little bit unsteady with that Tower there. It's like they want to have something committed with you. They want to. They're assessing you to see if that's potentially how, if you are capable of that. But there's a feeling here that you're a little unsteady, that maybe there's a little bit of chaos around you currently that needs to be cleaned up, and they're aware of this, and they're a little bit afraid of fully coming forward. The Page of Cups, representing your person here, they want to offer you love. It's twofold. It's either your person here that wants to offer you something, but they're sort of not giving it all up all at once, like they're taking their time. And for others of you, it's how you are being viewed. You're being viewed as someone who's not really ready to give a lot right now at this current moment. And so there's a little bit of, I'm going to take my time with this. Okay, let me get some clarifiers on that. And again, this is how they are viewing you, dear Capricorn. And I've got two groups of you here. I've got group A, who's already committed with someone else, and someone else is interested in you, and then group B. All right, so let's see. What are the clarifiers here, dear Spirit, for how they view Capricorn in this timeless reading for Capricorn? We need 3 clarifiers, please. Yeah, there's something chaotic happening. It's like something's not fully closed out with you, Capricorn, and they're sensing that. Like they know, like you still need to close something out. Yeah, and you're in the middle of some stress too. This is how they're viewing you, okay? Yeah, okay, so the 7 of Pentacles is clarifying your 4 of Wands. So for the first group, yes, the first group, the ones who are married, this confirms that there is something that you've already invested in, that you're very grounded in, and that's what they're observing. They're observing you kind of hang around the situation that's not yet closed out. And for the, and also with the Queen of Swords clarifying the Page of Cups, the person, there is this feeling that for the second group that you're not ready to give fully, and that maybe you're more in your head. And also with this Queen of Swords, this Queen of Swords is very interesting because I don't know if you can, I hope you can see that, but in this deck, the Queen of Swords is right in front of this little window. And in this window, there's a couple sort of hiding in the background and being very affectionate with one another. So there's two very different situations happening. Okay, so there's a group of you here who's maybe not completely closed out in a situation. And I'm not going to go as far as saying there's infidelity here because I'm not really picking that up, but there is interest in someone who is taken or hasn't fully closed out a chapter with someone else, right? So the Queen of Swords, this person who is observing someone, they're observing, and behind them there's this couple, and this is what's clarifying the Page of Cups. So there is definitely without a doubt, a group of you here who have not closed out a situation, who have someone else who's interested, and they're observing you and your situation, that you are still figuring it out. What clarifies the Tower is the 9 of Swords. So this reading for you, Capricorn, is being very consistent so far in that it's being consistent with how it's clarifying. So the 9 of Swords is another card of chaos. I mean, look at this card. Like he's just, I mean, look how similar that is, right? He's completely stressed out in this imagery. There are snakes around this person. So there's another sense here of mistrust with the snakes and the symbolism of snakes there. And there's a wanting to transform and get out of a situation that you're in, but you're also completely stressed out. They're viewing this like you're freaking the heck out, Capricorn, because there are things. It's like you have snakes on the ground, right? Like you have a situation of people around you you can't trust. Potentially it's a person you're trying to remove yourself from. But nevertheless, they're looking at you. And even if you're group A who is still in a situation, or group B who is not, the person that is interested in you here, who I'm suspecting is either a water sign or heavy air sign also, they're recognizing there's a lot of chaos right now that needs some tightening up here. And they realize, and it's almost like there's fear. The first role here that is like very calm with the 4 of Wands and the 7 of Pentacles, And then you end that, or from their perspective, with chaos. So I'm sensing here, Capricorn, that someone sees your ability here for group B. Someone sees your ability here to be in a committed long-term relationship, yet they understand that there's too much going on in your life. There's something very unsteady about you, and there's something unsteady about you that makes them nervous as well. But this can also apply to group A for those of you who are in a predicament with a third party potentially. Again, I'm not seeing necessarily infidelity here, but there is maybe some interest or someone else in the background, if you will, that is definitely interested. Okay, let's unfold this and see where you're at with this. Where are you, Capricorn? Where is Capricorn with this situation? I think the bottom line with how you are being viewed by anyone, whether it's the person of interest or someone that you may potentially be interested, the way you're being viewed is as someone who is struggling between commitment, having order with someone, whether it's them or someone else, versus chaos and the anxiety. It's like there's this anxiety here of building something long-term. And it's possibly because you're leaving something that's long-term. So you're kind of like, well, I just left something that's secure. Why would I want to get into anything else that's, you know, okay, how are they viewing? What is Capricorn's? Okay. Yeah, Capricorn, there's some stuff happening here for you. Let's see. Ooh. Okay, so we got the Six of Swords, the High Priestess, and the Five of Swords. And this is you. This is your perspective. So it looks like here in the recent past, my beautiful Capricorn, you got away from something, or you are in the process of advancing elsewhere, getting away from a situation. But there's also a sense here that you're doing it in secret. There's some secrets that you're holding on to here. And I think you're not, from the sense I'm getting here, what I'm feeling here, Capricorn, is you're not being fully transparent with either this new person that's interested in you or the situation that you're leaving behind. And you're not being completely transparent about it because you're afraid of the conflict that it will bring, right? You're aware that it's going to bring conflict. There's something here you're not being completely honest about, Capricorn, with either party. Now, this is not something that they necessarily sense, but this is what's going on within you. So then that turmoil that they are picking up on in terms of like the Tower and the Nine of Swords makes sense if you are holding on to something. There's something very secretive. Either you are not being completely honest with this new person about the extent of the previous relationship you were in, or maybe how serious that was, or maybe why you're leaving it, or maybe the fact that you never really left to begin with. I mean, apply it how it best resonates for you, lovely Capricorn. All right, so let's get some clarifiers here for you. Let's get some clarifier. Oops. Oh gosh, I don't think that's correct. Let's do that again. Clarifiers for Capricorn. Three clarifiers, please. Definitely, though, the reason that you're holding on to the truth here has to do with fear of conflict. That's clear to me. Okay. Oh. Yeah, so the secret that you're holding has something to do with another person, with the Two of Cups there. Clarifying the Six of Swords, you got the Star, but you got it in reverse. So you are quite literally, it looks like the person you're moving away from or the situation that you're moving away from really meant something to you at some point. And maybe that's what you're not being honest about. Maybe you're not being honest about how much that situation actually meant to you. And that's one way that this can be read. The other way is that any hope that you had for that potential is gone. Like you're like, I'm done. I'm moving away from this. Now, the motivator for you moving away may potentially be someone else, another person here. Because it is clarifying the High Priestess. So this is there's definitely a secret here. Or I just got a hit that the other thing that's happening here is that Capricorns, you're not being honest with a new person or new people or people that you're starting to date. The reasons why that former relationship didn't work. And the reasons that former relationship didn't work is because there was a third party. There was an issue. This is not for all of you, but this is definitely for a group of you where you're not being honest that the reason you were left or that you had to end or dissolve that relationship was because there was someone else involved. So the new person coming in here or this new interest, you're not really being fully transparent about that. And again, the reason is because you don't want conflict. You don't want to be not trusted. And with the King of Swords, clarifying the Five of Swords, you don't want to be received coldly. You want a second chance, essentially, with either this new person or people in the future. And so you don't necessarily want to be honest about these things that maybe you have, these decisions that you've made in the past that maybe you feel bad about, have regret about, or can potentially make you look in a bad light or make you seem like you're, seem in a bad light. Okay, so let me now see outcome here for you. Potential outcome and advice. Actually, I'm going to ask for, let's do advice. What's the advice, dear Spirit, that you have for Capricorn dealing and navigating this situation? What is the advice? Yeah, I don't feel like I should do outcome for you. I think you need advice more than you need an outcome so that you can be led to a good outcome. All right, Capricorn. Let's see, beautiful Capricorn. Oh, I love that. You got the Six of Cups. Let's see if we can get two more for advice. So first and foremost, forgiveness. Six of Cups always has a compassionate thing about it. You got the most beautiful cards for your advice. Beautiful, Capricorn. Six of Cups. You've got the 10 of Pentacles. And you've got the Empress. So your advice, gorgeous, beautiful, Capricorn, is focus on the love that you are currently receiving. For some of you, you're not being honest. So some of you are not being honest about you potentially having a third party interrupt your past. But for others of you are actually embarrassed to admit that someone else may have had the third party. It's really weird. It's like a weird, it'll make sense to you because there's a quirkiness to it. It's almost like there's a lot of gray here. Something wasn't quite defined, if that makes any sense. Anyway, back to your advice. You have the Six of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, the Empress. This is very much about focusing on the love that you currently are receiving, focusing on forgiving yourself, forgiving others. The Six of Cups reeks of compassion. So it really is about learning where to spill your love into. The 10 of Cups here, while it is a card that promises more stability, better finances, security within family systems, whether it's the community you choose to be family with or the community that you currently are, the family you currently do have. While it is all of those things, it's also a bit of a warning, especially when it comes in the advice section, not only to focus on the things that are important to you, the tangibilities, but also to be mindful of who you're giving your money, your energy, and your love into, especially with the Six of Cups facing into it. Because with this Ten of Cups, you have this beautiful wisdom here, which is represented by this older gentleman that no one seems to recognize. The only ones that seem to recognize here his presence or wisdom, and this is not a gender read, right? So apply it how it best resonates for you. The only ones that seem to notice that is innocence, and the innocence is represented here by the dogs that see him. No one else sees him, yet he's wearing the oh God, what is this called? It's not a cloak. It's, I forget the name of it, but what he's wearing symbolizes lots of knowledge and lots of wealth in that knowledge and value that is going unnoticed. And so with this beautiful progression here, Six of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, and the Empress, it's very much of being, your advice, Capricorn, is to be very aware of who you're spilling that compassion and love into, and being aware of the people who actually see you versus the people who don't see you. Meaning the people who actually are hearing your story, hearing who you are, understanding who you are, valuing the knowledge and the wealth of information that you bring to the table. And this is not just for love, even this is a love reading. So this is obviously for love, but what I'm picking up for you, Capricorns, is this is going to be huge, not just in love, but in all other things in general. And with the Empress ending this reading, it's very much about being aware of what you bring to the table. Again, being aware and maintaining that status for yourself, maintaining a status of worth. Because something in this situation that you had in the past, the reason it got weird, the reason there's this need to protect past mistakes and past stuff, the reason that is happening is because you either did not hold yourself in high regard, you didn't hold someone else in high regard, because it can be flipped, right? But in general, the advice overall, the more you take care of yourself and the more you hold yourself in high regard, the more you will do that for others. And instead of resenting others for what we give, right, and we don't get back, because there's an element here with this advice that you've been giving, but there's something you never received back, or vice versa. Someone else gave a lot to you and you didn't give back, right? So now the advice is really look at that. Pay attention to who you spill your love into. Also, pay attention to who you forgive and how you forgive. Like, forgiving because you really mean to, not forgiving because you're trying to get something in return, if that makes any sense. So yeah, so it's very clear here, Capricorn. It's focus on yourself, focus on your own compassion, forgive others, continue building your pentacles as I know you always do. And also keep taking care of your lovely Empress self. And this whole other situation happening with the stress, the anxiety, the tower moments, it's going to clear up. What I am picking up right now is, and this is a huge intuitive hit for most of you Capricorns listening, there's a middle person here, whether it's that water sign or that air sign or whatever sign that's interested in you. Something about that is distracting the other process that you're going through. So there's something here. There's a distraction that needs to be moved. There's a distraction here in this complex love situation for you that needs to be moved out. It needs to be taken out of the equation. It's almost like, let's say you have two people who are interested in you, or two people that you're deciphering between while you deal with this other situation from your past. One of those two people potentially is actually adding more to the chaos unnecessarily, and it's someone that you're not really that interested in anyway. That person needs to be plucked out, removed, and just get it out of the way. I know that sounds harsh, but there is a little bit of there's unnecessary distractions here that's adding and making this chaotic thing seem more chaotic than it needs to feel at the current time. All right, beautiful Capricorn, I hope that was helpful for you, and please continue to come back to my channel for other readings. And if you did like this content, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I wish you wonderful blessings. Thank you so much for visiting.